Hey guys, it's Dani, and today I'm doing sort of like an Ask Dani because many of you guys have asked me about the cookbooks that you see in the background when I'm in the kitchen cooking here. You want to know which books they are, which cookbooks I like, etc., etc. So the truth is that a lot of those books are back there simply for decoration. Yes, they are cookbooks I own, but I don't use them very often. So I thought what I would do is use this as an opportunity to share with you 5 cookbooks that I do love and that I either use all the time or reference all of the time, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do here. Okay, so the very first book that I use like a cooking Bible is How to Cook Everything by Mark Bittman. I actually shared this book with you in my 2015 gift guide. It's just a great, good, old-fashioned, a little bit of everything, basic cookbook, perfect for the home cook. This reminds me a little bit of The Joy of Cooking. Are any of you guys familiar with that cookbook? That was the first cookbook I ever had when I moved out of my house, and I literally used it until it fell apart. This is that kind of book. It's the kind of book you can reach to look up any little thing, and it's got all the basic recipes and techniques that you would need as a home cook. Now, if you're not familiar with Mark Bittman, he is a columnist for the New York Times. He has written literally dozens of books, many of them cookbooks. And what I love so much about him is that he takes a very practical approach to food. He's a great educator, a great communicator, and he really simplifies all of the food and nutritional drama that's out there. From his website, his core message, this is what he says, that it's to share that food has the power to make or break not only our personal health, but that of the planet. So clearly Mark approaches food from all different angles, which I really like. But back to the point, the actual cookbook, this is a great book whether you are a beginner, if you're a student, a newlywed, if you're just learning to cook, or if you're like myself, a seasoned home cook. It's a great reference cookbook to keep on hand. You'll find yourself reaching for it over and over again. So the next cookbook that I absolutely love are the Barefoot Contessa's cookbooks. Now, forgive my cookbooks here because any cookbook that comes with a cover on it, I usually end up taking off because they get in my way. I like my cookbooks with no cover. But it's the Barefoot Contessa cookbook. This one is her parties book. She is a very popular chef on the Food Network. Her name is Ina Garten, and she is popular for good reasons, my friend. Her recipes are delicious. The things that I love about her cookbooks is, number one, they are absolutely beautiful. All of her recipes have photos, and she gives great tips in the book. So that's number one. Number two, she is really great at taking simple flavors and making them shine, right? So she takes natural, real foods, and then she knows how to bring the best out of ingredients. And number three, and I think this is what I love the most about her books, is that her recipes always work and they are always spot on, insanely delicious. Her books are one of the few books that I will make a recipe verbatim, meaning I don't test it ahead of time. I will follow it blind, do exactly what she tells me to do, never have tried it before, and I'm happy to serve it to friends and family, and they never fail. They always work and they're always delicious. And that is because I once heard her do an interview on NPR, and she said that her recipe testing process looks something like this. She will test a recipe as many times as she needs to until it's how she envisions it, right? Till she gets all the flavors and the textures exactly where she wants them. Then she takes that recipe and gives it out to, let's say, 5 friends. They all test the recipe and give her their feedback. She then takes their feedback and then tweaks it, writes the recipe again, adds, takes away notes, etc., and then gives it back out again until basically every single person who's trying the recipe comes back to her saying, bravo, delicious, it worked, spot on, right? So that is why all her recipes work, and I have about 4 of her cookbooks. I think she might even have 5 cookbooks out there, and they're really great for entertaining or when you're cooking for your friends and your family. A couple of my favorite recipes from this book are the herbed shrimp with the mango salsa and the tabbouleh salad. So love the Barefoot Contessa. Okay, so the next one is called The Best Green Drinks Ever, and this is by Katrin Van Wyck. She is a holistic health coach, and this is a fantastic book for anybody who is learning to juice or make green smoothies or just wanting to find more recipes, etc., because she goes through all of the basics in this book. She talks about the difference between juicing and smoothies. She talks about different leafy greens out there and how they work in your drinks. She talks to you about the different types of protein powders there are. She goes through the different superfoods, et cetera, et cetera. So it really is a great learning book, and it's also a great reference book to keep on hand. You know, a lot of times when I wake up in the morning, I'll want to start the day with something green for myself or for my kids, but my brain doesn't always feel like working. So I keep this right on hand, right, you know, by the stove here. And so when I pick it up, I can find something tried and true that I know is easy and ready to go as long as I have the ingredients. And I also keep bookmarks here. So anytime I've tried a recipe that we really like, I put a little sticky note on there so I can turn right to the page like this green monster juice, and I know that I can go right there and find something that I've made before and that I will like, right? So it's kind of like setting myself up for success, right? No excuses. The book is right here, the recipe is right here, and when my brain doesn't want to work, I just grab it and go. So this is a great for any of you guys who are working on the green smoothies or the green juice. So my fourth book is another book dedicated to greens. It is called Greens, Glorious Greens, and it's by Jonah Albee and Catherine Walters. Now, this is a book I actually got about 10 years ago or so when I was studying at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I don't remember if they gave us this book or if they recommended us buying it, but either way, that is when I got it. And back then, when I was really kind of new to dark leafy greens and working them into my diet, I used this book all of the time as a handbook because this book has inside of it all the dark leafy greens that are out there, and then it talks to you about how to shop for them, how to store them, how to prepare them, and it also gives very, very simple basic recipes for incorporating greens into your diet. So this is an amazing book for any of you who are new to dark leafy greens, trying to get more into your diet, trying to educate yourself about the different types that are out there, the different varieties, et cetera, et cetera. Great book to have on hand. And the fifth cookbook that I'm going to chat about today is The Whole 30 by Melissa and Dallas Hartwig. Now, this book was actually a gift that somebody gave me over the holidays, and they may have done that because I have been complaining a bit about all the pizza and bagels I've been eating since moving to New Jersey. And this book is all about eliminating refined carbohydrates and processed foods from your diet, getting the sugar out. So that might be why they bought me the book, but I'm not sure. Either way, this is a diet. You guys may have heard about it. It's going on all over the place. I feel like it's pretty popular these days. I don't follow the diet per se, but I do like the recipes in the book because the recipes are basically rooted in plants, high quality proteins, and healthy fats. And I find that my body really likes that style of eating. So I've been having fun experimenting with different recipes from this cookbook. Like I recently made, oh look at that, I opened right up to it. This veggie bowl, it's just a big old bowl of vegetables with a red pepper sauce on top. So good, right? How often do you think just to make a bowl of vegetables for dinner and put red pepper sauce on top? Not that often. That's why cookbooks are great. They inspire us. Delicious. And then I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm dying to make this. Tell me how good this looks. Chicken chowder, right? Can you see that? It looks so good. So that is the final cookbook I'll be sharing with you guys today. It's a great one if you guys want to try to experiment with recipes that are cutting out the refined and processed carbohydrates and sugars, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you guys are interested in any of the books that I mentioned today, I will leave links down in the description box below so you can check them out. But now I really want to hear from you. What are some of your favorite cookbooks, or what books have you been referencing a lot lately to keep your kitchen clean and delicious? And yes, blogs and websites are included. I want to hear all about them because I too am always looking to stay inspired in the kitchen. So let's all come to the comments below and share the love. And by the way, guys, if you guys have other questions that you want to ask me, go ahead and put it down in the comments below so that I can collect all of your questions and do more Ask Dani's just like this because I do love chatting with you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I am Dani Spees. I'll see you back here soon with some more clean and deliciousness.